Dick Berggren.
With Kevin Harvick, such a wild ride. Did you not know you were on fire?
I knew I was on fire. I just figured it would go out. But just want to thank everybody on my Budweiser Chevrolet team. They did a great job. Just gonna take a lot more patience from a lot of guys who hadn't done this before. Obviously, you can't hit guys in the left rear, and they're getting big runs, and there's 2 pedals in that thing. So you just got to keep them off the left rear, and we'll have a little different strategy next Sunday. I can tell you that.
Harvick, you smell like smoke. Mike?
Thank you, Dick.
Jeff's going to move him up out of the groove and get by him.
Whoa! Busch is around. Can he save it this time?
Oh, there you go.
He does. He saves it. But there's a
Jeff Gordon's upside down. Jeff Gordon's upside down.
And Kurt Busch's car is destroyed.
Oh, my gosh.
You want out really badly, and Jeff's doing his best to explain that to those guys, probably about like I was explaining it, with not the calmest manner.
No, but you know what, Michael? After your deal down here, they came up with a system to turn that car back over. You see them putting those straps around the car. When they turned you over, they just pretty much hooked the record to you and slung you back on your wheels.
And Jeff climbed out the side there. I think he got out. So that's what I love about these big cars, Darrell. There's more room for those guys to get in and out, and that's a lot safer.
Jeff Gordon gets a round of applause from the crowd here.
Busch and Kurt, first off, you okay? But you were so complimentary to your crew. You got out, you hugged these guys, but you got a tore-up race car here.
You know, we had a blast tonight, and you could feel the energy, the excitement, and the butterflies with 10 to go because we were in position. I mean, with 2 to go, we were right in the mix with the big dogs, and we're just a little team. You know, I'm going to stop saying that. We worked really hard to get this car. This was the backup to the backup, and we were just... You could have that butterflies in the stomach feel to know we were in position to do good things with our Tag Heuer Chevrolet. I just want to thank Tag Heuer for jumping on board tonight. I had fun out there.
I mean, what got me was, again, you said it, no laps on this race car, but this team was able to not only get you up front, but you led the race, you were in that position. You know, how much of a boost to your ego right now and your confidence right now going into the 500?
Well, we know James Finch and Phoenix Racing builds great speedway cars, and so to have this Chevrolet with Hendrick Power and Tag Heuer tonight, it was just a huge boost for this whole club. And now it's just a matter of, you know, just throwing this car away, because they said, all the guys were joking, this is a 1985 Buick. Go out there, bring it back on the rollback. So that's not the mentality, though, for the rest of the year. We need to protect our race cars and have fun, but now it's off to Hendrick.com Chevrolet tomorrow to get that car qualified in the Daytona 500.
A lot of energy down here, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Green flag. Stewart brings him across the line. Ambrose getting a big push from Keselowski.
Both rows are 5 drivers pushing each other. Now you don't worry about that water temperature gauge.
No, she's cooled down and good to go. The 11 car down below the yellow line there, but he didn't advance his position.
But Bowyer could not stay with Tony Stewart, and that's cost Tony the lead. The Tasmanian Devil, Marcus Ambrose, 2-time champion of the Australian V8 Supercar Series and Watkins Glen winner last year. He's got a shot to win the Bud Shootout.
He's got Brad Keselowski in that 2-car pushing him. Ryan Newman in the 39 was pushing those 2 till they got about halfway down the back straightaway.
Kyle Busch's car is dragging the track, fenders flying.
But look at the
here
run that him and Tony Stewart's got, Darrell.
Here they come.
White flag. 1 lap to go, and Busch pushes Stewart to the lead. Ambrose tucks in 3rd.
That 18 car has got to be a mess.
Now, what do you do?
But that man wheeling it, he don't care. And this is where you see your 2-car tandem right here.
Remember, he'll try to beat you when he gets over here.
You know who that was? That's Steve Addington.
Who used to be Kyle's crew chief and is now Tony's crew chief.
He will try to beat you.
1 mile to the finish line of the Budweiser Shootout. Tony Stewart or Kyle Busch, who's going to win it?
I don't know if Kyle's got it. Remember what happened the last time these 2 were coming to a start-finish line back in the July race?
Smoke versus Wild Thing to the line.
He got him. He got him.
Wild Thing wins.
He got him. I ain't believing it.
He timed it absolutely perfect.
I ain't believing it.
So that's 3 times tonight he's done the wildest piece of driving I've ever seen. That kid is such a wheelman.
And people wonder why we get so excited about when he races and when he does what he does. There's nobody that can do what he does.
by 1/100th of a second. Kyle Busch is the champion of the Budweiser Shootout.
Look at his race car. It is destroyed.
Larry, it was dragging the ground, sparks flying out from under it, and he timed that beautifully.
There it is on Fox Extreme slow motion. Kyle Busch for Joe Gibbs Racing, the winner.
That was pretty unbelievable.
Look at this last lap. Now, in the old style of tandem racing, the pusher could not be the trophy holder. Not tonight.
That was a thing of beauty. He timed that to perfection. Jumped out there, got the side draft, and went right by Tony Stewart.
Closest finish in the history of the Budweiser Shootout. And Kyle, in his 6th start in this all-star tilt, picks up the checkered flag for the first time.
Nose all caved in.
and that was a backup car that had no laps prior to the green flag being flown.
Flat out, half turned over.
That's it.
And going to victory circle.
That's just some kind of crazy right there.
5th shootout win for Joe Gibbs Racing.
I'd burn that thing down if it was me. I mean, why not?
That is the first shootout win for a Toyota. And Kyle Busch is burning down the house, and what a wild night he has had.
Watch this. Just watch this. I'm wrecked. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Save it.
Slip, slide, and save.
Look at those hands in there. I mean, you gotta, folks, you gotta respect the man. That is amazing.
And then off the front bumper of Jeff Gordon. Busch to the apron, straightens it up, slides it around, and then grabs hold of it once again. And you hear those cheers in the background? In one of the biggest turnarounds that we've seen here at Daytona, Kyle Busch earlier tonight was introduced to a chorus of boos. He climbs from the car, stands on the windowsill to a chorus of cheers from the crowd. How about that? Well, he's gaining in the fan department, and after that display of driving tonight, I'm not the least bit surprised. Let's go to victory lane.
Winning your first Budweiser Shootout, y'all want it to be memorable. Could that race be any more crazy for you?
Oh, man. I don't know how many times I spun out, but I didn't spin out, you know. Amazing race. I can't say enough about all these guys. This M&M's Camry was fast, and it's fun to drive when I wasn't getting turned around, but, you know, it's a tough race, but a fun race. Glad to see the pack back like that and making it interesting for us drivers. Hopefully it was great for the fans as much as it was for us drivers. And, again, first race back in the M&M's car. We're in victory lane, so that's pretty cool. Can't say enough about Interstate Batteries, Toyota, the Sprint Cup Series, thanks Sprint, and Monster Energy, thanks for giving me my boost.
Work me through the approach and the move on Stewart for the win.
Well, somebody was in front of me. The 39 and the somebody, and they got hooked up and went, and I'm like, okay, well, I was trying to stay with the 39, but I pulled low and got in behind Stewart and just wide mode right up through there. He had a fast car and took us by those guys around the outside, and I'm like, it's a two-guy race right now, and it's going to be either me or him coming to the start-finish line out of turn 4. And I've seen the move done before. It was my turn to do it this time. Stewart had me the last time here in July a couple years ago, so glad it was the M&M's car and putting it here in victory lane. Can't say enough about electric sunglasses, all the folks there. So everybody on this car, Double Mint, Snickers, all the fine folks at M&M's.
He scores a win in February. Let's go to Chris Devoto standing by with the guy he just beat.
Yeah, Matt, Tony came on the radio and said, guys, I just don't know what I could have done. Well, now you have a week to formulate a plan. Can you figure it out?
Yeah, it can be done. It's just I got part of it. I just didn't get all of what I needed to do there at the end. But still, considering where this car was yesterday, I'm really proud of Steve Addington and Tony Gibson, Greg Zipadelli. All three teams at Stewart-Haas Racing just did an awesome job to get this Mobile One Office Depot Chevy back together. So, and they even let me work on it with them, which is it's kind of scary, the thought of it, but it was cool to be there with those guys, and it kind of sucked to screw it up yesterday, but really proud of how good a job they did to give us a car that was that good at the end.
It's a good run, champ. Thanks.
Thanks, Krista. Kyle Busch pulls the old Daytona slingshot off turn number 4 and goes to victory lane.
Well, I said you have to respect Kyle Busch, and I mean that in the right kind of way. Respect is earned. In my book, he earned a little bit tonight.
We had the pleasure of sitting with Kyle Busch yesterday, and it was apparent to us after being parked at Texas for Wreckin' Ron Horner Day that got his attention, but the desire to win is still there.
A lot of big crashes tonight, and one truly scary moment as Jeff Gordon slid 1,000 feet on the driver's door, and then the rest of that car's energy dissipated in a series of barrel rolls before landing on its roof. Dick Berggren with Jeff Gordon.
Okay, Jeff Gordon has emerged from the medical center with a smile on. What a wild ride. What precipitated all that?
Well, you know, it's just getting down to the end of the race, time to go. And me and Jimmy were looking good there. You know, we knew those guys were coming. And once Kyle got in front of me, I was just trying to, you know, keep Jimmy on me and try to stay with Kyle. Every time I got to Kyle's bumper, he just started getting so sideways like he was a lot tonight. And I thought he was going to wreck. I saw him start to spin, so I went to go wide, not knowing that somebody got to my outside. That turned me into those guys in the wall, and along for a ride we went, and then Kyle ends up winning the race. So pretty wild and crazy way to get it all started. Certainly an exciting finish for the race, so I'm excited about that, but not the way our Drive to In Hunger Chevrolet wants to get the 2012 season started.
So many crashes tonight, even more than would be expected for the Budweiser shootout. What is going on?
Well, the difference now is, you know, we're still bump drafting. We just can't do it, you know, for long periods of time. So now we're doing it in packs. And so, you know, you get on the straightaway, you push a little bit, and once the tires get a little bit heat in them, and you know, the cars just start, and we have less downforce, so the cars are moving around a lot. So you got to be real careful with how you push and when you push, and you know, it's definitely going to take some patience. But I was having a blast out there. Our car was awesome. You know, we had a car that could win this race, and so that's got me excited about tomorrow and for next week.
First time ever upside down in a stock car. Hope to see you not do that ever again.
Thanks, Dick. The box score will show these 10 cars finished on the lead lap. Fine runs for shootout rookies Marcus Ambrose and Brad Keselowski. Denny Hamlin came from laps down to finish in the top 5. Montoya inked the top 10 lead lap cars. Burt and Allmendinger Kane also running at the finish. Down to John Roberts and Michael Waltrip.
Mike, thanks a lot.